The movie begins with a drug lord named Diego Paulo arriving at his luxury mansion in Colombia. Armed guards surround the property, providing heavy security because Diego has made many powerful enemies through his illegal business. Soon after arriving, Diego goes to his bedroom to spend time with his fiancée. As he relaxes, an unknown sniper quietly takes position far away. Without warning, a shot breaks through the bedroom window and hits Diego in the head, killing him instantly. The story then moves to an American military cemetery. There, a skilled sniper named Brandon Beckett attends the funeral of a fellow soldier who was killed in combat. After the service, Brandon meets his commander, Major Richard Miller. They discuss the recent killing of a drug dealer in Colombia, which was carried out by an unknown sniper. Richard assigns Brandon to travel to Colombia and help investigate the case as a sniper expert. Brandon arrives in Bogotá, Colombia, and reports to a military base in charge of the investigation. There, he meets a sergeant leading the case. The sergeant explains that the murders are connected to a dangerous drug lord named Jesus Morales. Morales is believed to have killed rival dealers by hiring a professional sniper and has been on the run for more than 10 years. After studying the case files, Brandon starts noticing patterns in the killings. During a briefing, DEA agent Kate Estrada joins the meeting and shares new information from her team. She explains that Morales is believed to be hiding in a remote farmhouse far from the city. Estrada pushes for an ambush to be carried out the very next day to stop Morales from escaping again. Although the sergeant feels the plan is rushed, Estrada convinces him that acting quickly is the only option. She then asks Brandon to provide sniper cover for her team, with a local operative named Santiago assigned as his spotter. Before leaving, she instructs Brandon to carefully study all mission-related documents. The following day, the operation begins as multiple teams surround the target area. Brandon and Santiago take sniper positions deep in the forest, giving them a clear view of the surroundings. From their vantage point, they monitor the movements of Estrada's assault team as it advances toward Morales' house. To avoid detection, the team approaches using an indirect route. Meanwhile, back at the base, the sergeant closely monitors the mission through satellite surveillance. Soon after, John Sampson, a special agent from the Department of Homeland Security, enters the control room and joins the team overseeing the operation. Back in the field, Estrada's unit moves closer to the target location. Once all teams are in position, the first group advances to begin the ambush. Moments after they enter the house, a sudden explosion erupts, killing several soldiers instantly. At the same time, a hidden sniper observes Estrada's team from deep within the forest. He locks on to one of her most trusted partners, Pablo. A shot rings out and strikes Pablo in the leg, causing him to collapse in pain. Seeing this, Estrada rushes to his side and drags him to a safer position. However, the sniper fires again with deadly precision, hitting Pablo in the head and killing him on the spot. After the attack, Brandon and the others emerge from their concealed positions to check on Pablo. Brandon quickly realizes that the entire mission was a trap set by Morales. He concludes that the shooter must be a highly trained professional, capable of landing 2 precise shots under pressure. The bullets used are also rare and not easily accessible to ordinary criminals. Following the failed operation, Estrada and Brandon meet with the sergeant and Sampson to analyze what went wrong. They agree that Morales must have known about the plan in advance and prepared the ambush accordingly. Later that night, Brandon and Santiago head to the DEA dormitory, where they will be staying during the mission. As they move through the building, they remain alert, guarding against a possible sniper attack. During this time, Brandon reflects on the tactical mistakes made during the operation and studies the type of ammunition used by the enemy sniper. Meanwhile, Estrada continues to struggle with the loss of Pablo. Seeking answers, she goes to a nightclub to meet a contact. Inside the club, a man harasses her, and she quickly knocks him down. Shortly after, she meets Carlos, a secret informant who has been feeding her information about criminal groups, including Morales. Carlos reveals that Morales hired a legendary professional sniper known as El Diablo, or the Devil, to eliminate his rivals. With their deaths, Morales has risen to become the most powerful drug lord in Colombia. Carlos warns Estrada to stay away from the operation, explaining that once El Diablo targets someone, their life is in serious danger. Despite the warning, Estrada refuses to back down, especially after losing her closest partner to El Diablo. Carlos understands her resolve and promises to provide more information as soon as possible. At the same time, Brandon rushes to the roof of the dormitory after Santiago reports seeing a reconnaissance laser aimed at the building. Realizing Brandon is ready for combat, El Diablo becomes even more determined to kill him. Guided by Santiago's directions, Brandon finally spots his target. Using their expert sniper skills, both men fire at nearly the same time. El Diablo narrowly avoids Brandon's shot, while Brandon quickly takes cover as El Diablo pulls the trigger. From this brief duel, Brandon notices that El Diablo is using a different type of ammunition. The following day, Brandon, Estrada, and the sergeant hold a video call with Richard. Richard explains that El Diablo is using a high-tech smart bullet capable of changing direction and detonating on command. He also reveals that this advanced ammunition was developed by the United States Department of Defense. Meanwhile, Morales relaxes at his headquarters with several Bogotá gang members while playing billiards. After losing a bet, Morales points his gun at a gang leader named Manolo, terrifying everyone present. Another thug named Victor is clearly shaken by Morales' behavior. Moments later, Morales lowers the gun and claims he was only joking. Soon after, Morales is informed that Brandon and Estrada are still alive. Angered, he leaves the room and attempts to contact El Diablo. When Morales reaches his private quarters, he finds El Diablo already there, aiming a gun at him. El Diablo demands payment, but Morales refuses, stating that the job is unfinished. Morales orders him to kill Brandon and Estrada immediately if he wants his money. At the same time, Estrada, Brandon, and Santiago travel by taxi to investigate El Diablo. Suddenly, Estrada receives a call from Carlos, who provides the address of El Diablo's girlfriend. They immediately change course and head to the location. On the way, a truck slams into their vehicle at an intersection. Morales' men surround them and open fire. During the chaos, Santiago is fatally shot and dies at the scene. Amid the attack, Estrada secretly heads alone to El Diablo's girlfriend's house without informing Brandon. When she arrives, Manolo and his men confront her as she attempts to force her way inside. Outnumbered, Estrada fights back but is eventually cornered. Just in time, Brandon arrives to help her. Together, they recover a necklace belonging to El Diablo's girlfriend, which contains a hidden photo of El Diablo inside. Brandon immediately sends the photo to the sergeant and Samson at headquarters to uncover the true identity of the mysterious sniper. During the call, Brandon explains that he and Estrada will temporarily go into hiding while gathering more information about El Diablo. He also asks the sergeant not to deploy additional troops, as their presence could expose their location. Brandon and Estrada choose this approach because they suspect Morales has connections within government agencies. These insider ties could allow him to learn about operations long before any official ambush takes place. Their goal is to expose the people inside the government who are secretly helping Morales. To do this, Brandon and Estrada meet with Carlos. Unfortunately, Carlos doesn't have specific names. However, he reveals that several powerful figures within government institutions have likely supported Morales by protecting and enabling his drug operations. With this information, Brandon and Estrada decide to target Morales' key collaborators one by one, hoping to force either Morales or El Diablo out into the open. Samson strongly opposes this strategy, warning that it could cause widespread chaos. In contrast, Richard and the sergeants support the plan, believing it is the only effective way to draw Morales out of hiding. One night, Morales learns that one of his business partners has been killed by Brandon and Estrada. Furious, he meets with El Diablo and pays him to eliminate them that very night. Without hesitation, El Diablo approaches Manolo for information and assistance. After being paid, Manolo agrees to help and reveals that Brandon and Estrada have been working with Carlos. Upon hearing this, El Diablo orders Manolo to hang Carlos in front of a church as bait. El Diablo then hides nearby, waiting for Brandon and Estrada to reveal themselves. When Estrada sees Carlos hanging from a tree, she panics and prepares to rush out to save him. Brandon stops her, warning that it's a trap meant to draw them into the open, exactly what El Diablo wants. He convinces her that they can still save Carlos from where they are. Brandon carefully shoots the rope holding Carlos, freeing him just before he loses consciousness. However, El Diablo fires immediately, killing Carlos with a single shot. The next day, Brandon and Estrada attend Carlos's funeral, alongside grieving local residents. During the service, Brandon notices suspicious behavior from Victor and decides to follow him. After some resistance, Victor agrees to cooperate and reveals the location of Morales' headquarters. He also admits that Morales ordered Carlos's death. Using Victor's information, DEA forces launch an ambush on Morales' headquarters. The operation goes smoothly. and Morales offers little resistance before being taken into custody. Shortly after his arrest, Samson escorts Morales to Miami, where he is scheduled to face trial at the United States Attorney's Office. At the same time, El Diablo arrives in Miami under a false identity and successfully passes through airport security. Meanwhile, Brandon and his team prepare at the airport for Morales' transfer to the prosecutor's office. During this time, Brandon meets with Richard, who presents the latest version of the military's smart bullet. Richard explains that this model uses far more advanced technology than the one El Diablo has been using. He also reveals that El Diablo is a former soldier who once worked for the United States Department of Defense. According to official records, 100 smart bullets went missing, and El Diablo is believed to have stolen them. Elsewhere in the airport, El Diablo settles into a room and begins assembling his sniper gear for another assassination. Meanwhile, Morales is hooded and escorted by several officers from a secured room toward a vehicle headed for the prosecutor's office. When the first convoy departs, Samson questions why Brandon and his team are not accompanying it. Brandon then reveals that the convoy that just left is a decoy. He explains that the man inside is not Morales. The real Morales, he says, will be transported separately in a white van leaving shortly. Inside his room, El Diablo receives orders from someone inside the government to kill Morales before he can expose the officials involved in the drug business. At the same time, Brandon and Estrada take positions across from the building where El Diablo is hiding. Estrada watches the first convoy, while Brandon aims his rifle at El Diablo's location. After being told that Morales is in a white van, El Diablo changes his aim and waits. When the van leaves the airport, he opens fire, filling it with bullets. Several armed men also step out and shoot at the van to make sure no one inside survives. Meanwhile, Brandon locks onto El Diablo's position and fires the advanced smart bullet given to him by Richard. The bullet hits El Diablo in the head, killing him instantly. Once the chaos ends, it is revealed that Morales is still alive. He was actually inside the first convoy. The white van that El Diablo attacked was empty and controlled remotely. The entire operation was a carefully planned trap created by Brandon and his team. The real goal was to expose Samson as the true traitor, the man who secretly worked with Morales in the drug trade. Samson had ordered El Diablo to kill Morales to protect himself and hide his own crimes. When Estrada hears Samson's explanation and realizes he feels no regret, her anger explodes. Still mourning the death of her closest partner, she attacks Samson in rage. By the end of the operation, Samson is officially arrested for his crimes. Richard praises Brandon and Estrada for their skill, determination, and bravery in uncovering the truth and bringing the case to an end. With justice finally served, Estrada leaves the scene alongside Brandon. The story ends with a clear message. The most dangerous enemy is often the one hiding in plain sight. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and see you next time.